This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm now joined by Jamie Conlan here in London. Jamie, first and foremost, how are you doing?
I'm all good, healthy.
Yeah, that's the main thing, obviously healthy is good to hear as well. Now, I assume you're here in attendance to kind of have somebody here on your brother's side because Michael couldn't be here. Just an update as to where Michael is at the minute.
He's out in Surrey. He got stuck coming in, so he's missed it, but he's checking into the hotel today. Car got in this morning down from Manchester, so I just come over with the lads.
So Michael stepping in to face Sofian Takoucht on Saturday night. Just talk to me about that fight, Jamie. What should we expect to see from your brother?
I think I'm excited to see what performance he puts out there for us. I think people will try and compare the performance against Warrington's performance because that's what they resonate the name Sofian Takoucht with. But that's not the same style. It's different stages of their careers. You know, Warrington was unified world champion, beating Lee Selby in Frampton. Then fought Takoucht. Michael's only in his 14th fight. It's a still building process for him in his career. We're looking to see a real clinical performance. Different styles between Warrington rush forward a lot. Michael will take his time a lot more. There's a lot more technique and tactical and awareness of what he does. So I'm excited. Internally, we have a few boxes that need to be ticked. Internally, we're not comparing anything between him and Josh Warrington. As I said, it's different styles, different stages of the career.
There's a lot of excitement about your brother and how the rest of his career will play out as he edges ever closer to his maiden world title shot. But you mentioned the Josh Warrington fight versus Sofian Takoucht there. Is that bringing any added pressure to Michael? Have you seen any added pressure in him?
No, not in the camp, not internally. No, externally, it's always going to be compared, and it's what the media is to do. So, but internally, Sofian Takoucht is just another step in the ladder to learn, to progress, to get better, to try out things that we've been working on in the gym, and showcase them. The end goal for Michael is to be world champion. To face these kind of fighters, these experienced 41st fight for Takoucht, former European champion and world title challenger. These wee scenarios that you have to go through to become world champion.
Let's say it was a blank canvas and Sofian hadn't fought Josh. What should we expect from Sofian come Saturday night?
Well, it was nearly that last August. We were trying to make the fight then. Sofian was ranked number 4 with the IBF, and he had that ranking that Michael was looking to take, as well as the experience. So he can be awkward and gangly. He comes to have a go as he did with Josh, but he's also good on the back foot. Josh showed that he could break him down pretty quickly. Previous fighters couldn't. When we watched a lot of tape on him, he's fought a lot of tough fighters and they couldn't break him down. So he showed resilience in the past, and that's the Takoucht that we're looking at.
How far off do you feel your brother is from challenging for world honours?
If you were to ask him, it'd be tomorrow. If you ask me, I think 1 or 2 fights. There's still a wee bit of learning process. I still would like to see him with a former world champion, a guy who's been there, done it, who can test him, who can bring him into deep waters. From what we're seeing in the gym, everything that he's doing in the gym tells me that he can beat anyone in the world tomorrow. It's doing it on the night that I need to see, that I would like to see before we move forward. But he's got everything there. Every time I watch his sparring clips, everything that he's sending me across, I get very excited because I've seen the progress from him as a kid and seen him come through what he's performing at now.
Obviously, there's a number of MTK fighters on the show which you'll obviously be looking after. But with the main man behind me, called Frampton, I think he's still behind me at least. You said that, Jamie, not me. Obviously, Carl getting in the ring with Traynor, a last-minute replacement for who he was originally meant to step in the ring with. What should we expect from Darren, though? What obstacles do you think Darren will present to Carl?
Well, he was last minute for us. He was last minute for Carl, but in Darren Traynor's head for the last 5-6 weeks, he's been fighting Carl Frampton. So it's a focused Darren Traynor on Frampton, whereas Frampton has only had a very short space of time to focus on Darren Traynor. He's bigger, naturally, will be bigger on the night. He's a lot tougher than the previous guy we had in, the Armenian. It's something that we kind of envisioned that could happen in a worst case scenario, so we had to make sure it was ready with potential of COVID or the visa issues with Fareem. I think it's going to be, like when I seen him starting together, he is a lot more big. He's a lot more big than I thought he was when we were looking at matching him. compared to Carl. So he's going to bring a bit of that to it. Could confidence come into play, being the magnitude of the task at hand? You know, when you stand across the ring from someone with an awe of Carl Frampton, it can be daunting, especially for someone who is not mixed at that level. So he has to kind of blank that out. Carl has to take away his jab to get in. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to pose a few tests. It's just good to see Carl back out before he faced Jamal Herring. It's good to see him back out because he hasn't fought since November. There is a lot of rust to shake off, so hopefully that doesn't play into as a factor. He's telling me that he sparred the best he's sparred since he's been with Jimmy Moore, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Carl brings to the table.
You mentioned the Herring fight there. Do you think that will be in the back of Carl's mind heading into Saturday?
It's hard not to be. You know, every fighter thinks of the end goal and thinks of the bigger picture, but he is professional in everything that he does. You know, he's professional in his training, professional in his diet, professional in his approach to everything regarding boxing. So I don't think he will let the ball drop in terms of the fight itself. He won't overlook Darren Traynor because we had notified him at the start that this guy is going to be on the sidelines. Just don't take the eye off the ball. That's the main thing here is performance number one, looking good number two, and then just not taking the eye off the ball with Jamal Herring in the background.
Final thing, Jamie, obviously last week we saw Frank Warren reach out to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Sky, etc. with a message to try and make some cross-platform fights. What did you make of that message?
I could look at it two different ways. Slight desperation from Frank, BT, and then also you can see it as like this is a big ploy. You know, Frank is coming out here first time publicly, reaching out, extending the hand of friendship, extending the hand to build something. That we are in different times, so strange things are happening during these times, and you know, this fits in with it. It makes sense in terms of a fighting aspect. There's a lot of big fights to be made. How they all get down and get done is another thing because of the two major broadcasters involved. But I like it in a way because you get to see the best fighting the best. There is no hiding behind promoters or broadcasters. So welcome it with open arms.
Jamie, we'll leave that there and I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you giving up some time and thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Stay safe, stay safe.